Okay, let's get into the new treasure map against York the Greedy, and I did make quite a few changes to the teams I showed you in the previous video, so let's get straight into it. Not a lot of changes to the mini boss teams, nor to the final boss, but there is one slight change to the Intrusion. Okay, so in terms of the Intrusion, I did remove York. Now the reason is, the final stage, the plan to get around the resilience was to just use the Momo support on Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji. The unfortunate part about that is that we target locked to York, who has resilience. So the two backup mobs, which are two Seraphim characters, we can't kill them on turn 1, which is highly inefficient. And also at later nav levels, there is a chance that you could get killed by them. So I'm pretty sure it is safe if you don't have this character who I replaced York with, which is the recent legend Alba, who removes the resilience completely, allowing us to kill the enemy in one turn. Now as for the 3 tons of damage reduction, which York removed before, we are now using the limited support recruit Ace on our Luffy, Zoro, Sanji. No replacement unfortunately. And then the Isho recruit on our Borsalino. We tap a perfect on Borsalino to get the turn of damage reduction removed, and then we hit perfect on Kikinojo and Izo, which we are now just using their barrier penetration potential ability to get through the rainbow orb barrier. Now I was talking a lot about this rainbow orb barrier in the previous video and how annoying it is. I completely forgot about the barrier penetration potential ability, which Kikinojo and Izo has, so just make sure it's at a decent level or enough so that you can get through the barrier on the final stage. I'm pretty sure we do have full health though, so you should only need it at level 1, but just maybe level 2 to be safe. Besides that, nothing really changed here. Kikinojo and Izo works super well in stage 2 when it comes to the Momo support and also their super type and special combo. So let's get straight into it, and of course we also have Nami and Karina synergizing so well with Kikinojo and Izo, completely handling stage 2. And of course we are running a Nami friend captain. Nami is definitely a lot more scarce than, or scarce, I don't know how to pronounce that word, compared to the Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, but a lot more common than the 6+ Zoro. So I mean, it's definitely a lot better than relying on friend captain Zoros to appear. So I'm pretty happy with it. Unfortunately we do lose a teeny bit of point boost from removing York, but it's only like a 0.05x difference, so not really anything too important. One more thing is that I did replace the anniversary ship with a ship that gives you easier perfect taps. It just means that on the final stage, when you use the Borsalino to tap a perfect and get rid of the remaining damage reduction, you won't have trouble hitting a perfect. Okay, so as you can see here, we do have backup mobs on stage 2 as well. Luckily they are not much of a threat. We do also get our top row set to 1-0 because we have 6 slasher characters on the crew. 5 slasher characters. So we use Nami Karina to get an orb boost alongside the chain lock, which procs the super type of Kikinojo Izo. And with that, we have 1 orbs, a strong orb boost, and also a chain lock. So as you can see, we can kill York. If the damage becomes limited, you could just use the special of our Kizaru, or you could also use the super class of Alba. Super type. At this point, we do have a lot of bad orbs. Super type of Alba gives us matching orbs, or 1 orb should I say. Then we can use the special, gives the enemy burn and a lot of debuffs, as well as buffing our advantageous effect from the enemy weakness to slashes, so that's an extra 2x damage. Nami X Super. You could actually probably use Nami X Super on stage 2 if the damage becomes low. It'll help a lot more than Alba's, and also Alba we are using on the final stage. Okay, so Luffy, Zoro, Sanji attack boost and orb boost, very helpful. Enemy has 1 turn of damage reduction remaining, so we just tap a perfect on our Kizaru, removes it. And then Kikinojo and Izo will, for a very long time, be able to kill just with their tap. Of course, we have type advantage, advantageous class effect buff, enhanced with the Alba special. We also have a lot of enemy percent resistance down. We have the attack and all boost from Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, and a bunch of chain buffs from Kikinojo and Izo, and then of course a lot of X super damage from Nami, which gives us a lot of super class. Okay, so that was a lot of information, but not a lot has changed there besides the support characters and of course changing out York for Alba. So let's get into the first mini boss. Okay, so I lied earlier when I said the mini bosses didn't really change. For the most part, they didn't really change whatsoever, but this team completely changed. Before I was using Cat Dog to give us the ability to negate barriers and also give us an attack and all boost. The problem with that is we are using our Psy characters to attack. Cat Dog works terribly with Psy and Int characters. They become only a 4x attack boosting captain, and also the orb boost from Cat Viper is only to strength decks and quick characters. So there was a lot of redundancy on the team, and overall this is a far better solution since it's a lot more efficient. We are using our Zoro on stage 1 to wave clear and give us a 3-turn orb boost, and then on the second stage Kikinojo and Izo gives us a chain lock and then also extends the Zoro orb boost until the final stage. Finally, on the final stage, Usopp will negate the the special rewind, reduce the enemy's threshold, and then also give us an attack boost. So overall, we'll have a full board of honor orbs, an attack boost of 2.75x, a orb boost of 2.25x from Zoro, and also a 3.5x chain lock from our Kikinojo and Izo. And then our top row characters, Luffy will be hitting like a truck. You could also use his super type if you want extra damage, but overall it's not necessary. But that is a later team. Let's first deal with Franky. So Franky, this team remained completely unchanged. It works spectacularly. So does the other teams. So this team has a kind of a bit of everything. One of my other teams doesn't have any chain, but it still does like 100 million damage. This team, however, has a lot of interesting mechanics we are working with. Mainly the Roger and Nougat special is just super good for damage, setting our weak attack boost to 3x, buffing our color affinity of from the support ability to a 2x, and then also giving us a despair reduction. But stage 1 Kuzan, stage 2 Kid in Law. Kid in Law has great tech, allowing us to get a chain boundary and a chain growth rate buff for the final stage, and as you could see, their wave clear is spectacularly fast. And then on the final stage, we get a weak 2x attack and all boost from our Kuzan, a color affinity of 1.5x from Kuma. Roger and Nougat special activates ridiculously fast. Did you just see that, bro? And buffs our attack boost to 3x, color affinity to 2x, and as you can see, we have a Wano orb in our on our Akainu from the Hiyori crewmate ability. So if we start the chain and attack with Akainu, you can see it does 125 million damage. Of course, we do have the weakness buff. The enemy is weak to driven class, so Akainu can be any driven character who is strength. I think they might have to also be fighter if I remember correctly. I don't know, just run a strength fighter driven character with the highest stats possible. Run Kuma support. You should have Kuma by now since he was free in Rumble. Either way, let's get into this Brook team, which I was talking about previously. Okay, so this one is actually pretty good. The previous team, as I said before, didn't work too well, so I recommend changing it up to this composition. Okay, so it is quite unfortunate that we aren't even using the super type of Luffy, because it does wave clear very fast and gives us a 1.5x increased damage for side characters. But either way, Zoro is going to help us get a lot more damage with his orb boost. So as you can see, the Kikinojo and Izo, oh my days. Okay, I lie. So I said that Kikinojo and Izo extends orb boosts, but that's only if your captain is slasher or shooter. So I mean, you could just swap Zoro with Hiyori, so you can use Zoro on the final stage to get an orb boost if you need it. because that side won't be special binded. You can just use the super type of Luffy on stage 1 to wave clear and give you super type. Yeah, but there's really no point in changing up the team. The damage should actually be fine for a long time without Zoro and with that super type. So yeah, there is some improvements that can be made to that team. If I do make a change, I will put it on my community post tabs. So if you want to see a change, then keep up with that. But this next boss here, this team is probably my favorite one. Everything just fits so well into each other, whatever that means. So Toki is just an OP character in Treasure Map. Just in general, she's a great unit. And they also act as a proc for our super class from Odin. Not Odin, the Akazaya Samurai Legend. So we use their super class to give our slasher character super class, give us matching orbs, and then also wave clear very fast. We use Toki on stage 2 on our bottom row, and then the other super class, any Kuma character can be used with the support of Bonnie for 5 turns of bind reduction. The attack down is reduced with our captain effect, and then the blow away can be ignored. And overall, 0 specials on the final stage. As you can see, just tapping with Shanks gives us 50 million damage, and I didn't even hit a perfect there. So yeah, a lot of damage. Any size slasher, cerebral character with high stats can be used instead of those two guys. Because cerebral characters do have access to the weakness buff. Slashers are the only ones boosted by the captains, and then of course Psy for type advantage. This team is also very good. It works super well. The only issue is that Tesoro's special is a bit slow, but it's really not too much of a problem. So let's get into the quest. Of course, double Tesoro. Level number break 5 is not needed. Only level number break 3. Nah, I don't even think level number break 3 is needed. It's just a small stat increase. You could literally have him at base and it should work perfectly fine. Okay, so Tesoro is great since he is the longest chain locker. Not because, well, he starts off at 3 turns of chain lock, but then he extends it with his captain ability, so that's great. It means we can use it on stage 1 and still last until the final stage, leaving room open for turn 2, allowing us to have another efficient wave clearer in Vista and Marco. As you can see, they work very fast and give us a 3-turn powerhouse attack boost. Nami Karina gets around everything alongside the chopper support and also giving us an orb boost. We can start the chain, and then our bottom row characters are incredibly powerful, hitting 60 million each. So your bottom row characters needs to be Dex, Cerebral, Powerhouse. I'm pretty sure Cerebral have the weakness class advantage again, and then Powerhouse characters are boosted by the attack boost from Marco and Vista. Okay, final boss. This one I don't think I really changed at all. Yeah, absolutely no change. I think I changed the ship to the whale sharks to make recovery orbs count as beneficial, and then I also added the Hiyori sport on Luffy, Zoro, Sanji just to give them a 1 orb on the final stage, allowing them to hit basically the entire treasure map. Just tapping on them kills the enemy with, I think, 120 million damage, and that's without starting the chain. We are running double Kizaru. You really only need access to 1 Kizaru, so you can run any captain and just a friend captain. Kizaru should work perfectly fine. The position of the units do matter. York only gives our bottom row characters recovery orbs, which we are using to kill on stage 2. It's also why we needed the whale shark ship to make recovery orbs count as beneficial. We do have Monet giving us a 6-turn despair reduction. Before I used Rayleigh support on Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, I realized that is unnecessary. We go from 10 down to 6. I don't know where that extra turn is coming from. I think Monet. Yeah, Monet has a crewmate ability to negate one turn of despair. So if you don't have that, just add Rayleigh support. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so we use Borsellino, we use Monet. And that's, oh wait, no, we also use York twice, so make sure her double special activation is ready at max potential. We just start the chain and kill. I mean, you should probably also have Luffy's or Sanji on the bottom row so that they get a matching orb guaranteed, since the enemy is int. So we should probably have the advantageous units getting the matching orbs. Man, I'm talking too much. Okay, so final stage is Luffy, Zoro, Sanji for an attack orb boost, paralysis reduction, and they of course have the Wano orb. And that's about it. I mean, you can use other characters, but it's kind of a waste of your time. Vegapunk adds nothing. He just gives you a conditional attack boost, which isn't even procced. And then Kizaru just gives you chain, which, as I said, you only need later on. Okay, so that's about it for the teams. Thank you guys for watching. Sorry about the long-winded commentary. If you have any questions or replacements, I will be answering some questions that I saw on the preparation video. The Shirahoshi support wasn't even needed since we do have the barrier penetration to get around the rainbow orb barrier. But with all that being said, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you found any value from this video. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, and I'm out.